Fielding is our chairman and owner of the company. And yeah, Fielding is still the one that's going up in his office and mixing the secret recipe using, the paper notes that were his great great uncle Wayne Scott's handwritten recipe notes.
Wow.
And he's the only
Ooh.
one allowed in that room. It's, behind a locked case in a safe. And, I like to say that it's like, we're like Bush's baked beans of Kentucky. It's like the family secret recipe.
Welcome to the New Frontier Show. I'm your host, Jared Ravenscraft, joined by my co-host,
Joshua Ravenscraft, and we're sitting down with the trailblazers, the go-getters, and the creators, sharing stories from the journey and lessons learned along the way. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you to our friends at ARH for allowing us to bring you this show for free. Appalachian Regional Healthcare, the healthcare system of Appalachia.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I guess because I did see that footage where he was like already. Yeah, where you said he's Elite's favorite son.
I'm sorry, because
I could not. Seriously was dead.
I
That's
can't
funny.
endorse that. It's on you all. I should reel that one
so
back
funny.
in.
No, it's so funny. I think it's hilarious. And they are. I mean, they've been great partners. So.
Oh, yeah.
So, what's this 100-year celebration? What's it been like? I'm sure it's just like life in the fast lane every day for you.
It is life in the fast lane. Like we're going down the Audubon right now. There's no speed limit, but also really fun. I mean, being a part of something like this is, it's indescribable, honestly. Like this is such an iconic brand, and the fact that it's family owned is, no pressure, I guess, but just that, this is just something that means so much to so many people.
Including us.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
just like we'll get on into the collab later with L8 and New Frontier, but when we were planning this, Jesse, like first when you reached out, like it's been years in the making. We were super excited, but like you never really know what's going to happen. Like when you collab, you're like, I know we think it's going to be good and we feel good about it, but you don't really know until you release it. And I'll just say this is one of those like home runs. Like we crushed it over the fence, over the stadium, and it's like probably over the river. But it's just been a home run. And to your point, the L8 fan base is so loyal and so strong, not just in Kentucky, but like it's wild. People outside of Kentucky, like, man, we got it down in Florida or we got it in Michigan. And I guess that's something I kind of learned just like collaborating with you all is like how big the reach is.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I mean, we always say that you're either from Kentucky or you've lived in Kentucky or you've driven through Kentucky to, have touched that sort of green glass and the iconic fluid within. But yeah, I mean, it really is like we will hear also people that say, they have moved away from the area or, they're taking it to their kids at college who have gone away, or people are ordering it online, and ordering it to Oregon, about as far away in the country as you can get, because they have some deep connection to it or someone that they know introduced it to them. We meet people who are like, I am not from Kentucky, but I had a college roommate who was, and they introduced it to me and I can't get enough, that they, late night study, drinking it or just whatever the stories, or, they're not from here, but their grandparents were, and they would come and spend summers with their grandparents and sit on the front porch in the holler and drink it with their grandpa. And that's like how they remember their family lineage. So, I mean, it's so important. And, we are also available slowly but surely in outside of the region. So that's been nice too, just getting the word out there.
And it's your all's tagline, one sip and you're there. Like it takes you back, like no matter where you're at, it takes you back to like wherever it reminds you of. But for example, I was in Montana last week and I had this 100-year shirt on in the airport, and 2 or 3 people approached me and they said, that's that Kentucky drink, and then one person said, that's their 100-year anniversary. That shirt's awesome. And like, it's just cool to be out somewhere outside of Kentucky and people recognize it. And I'm like, you got to get this shirt. So that was cool.
That is so cool.
I was at the Burl in Lexington this past weekend for their 10-year, and I looked around and I'm like, that's a camo shirt, and I saw bunch of L8 gear already out from our collab, and I'm like, let's go. I mean, it was
Yeah, that's amazing.
honestly, it was everywhere. So it's just so cool to see, you know, all the ideas that all of us have came together with, and the energy like come out on the other side, and people enjoy it. So super
Yeah.
cool.
Well, I think the collab just makes sense, right? Like, as you mentioned, it's kind of been a couple years in the making, but I think it has partially been so successful because we did take our time with it, and also our brands mean so much of similar things to people and represent, a care for the bluegrass and for the region and for its people. And so,
100%.
yeah, I think that definitely has helped,
Hmm.
propel
For
the
sure.
relationship.
So, while to rewind it back, we obviously met several years ago, but Jesse, are you from Kentucky?
I'm very sad to say that I'm not.
No, I didn't honestly didn't know this.
I
Yeah.
know. It's probably the only thing that I have FOMO in my whole life about is that I'm not actually from Kentucky because I
Well,
really, I wish I was, truly.
well, you're a Kentuckian now. You do so much
Yeah.
everywhere
Oh
across the
yeah.
I've
gorge,
now
and
lived in Kentucky longer. So I'm from Indiana originally,
hmm
northern Indiana. So I'm like a Yankee. But I have now lived officially in Kentucky longer than I ever lived in Indiana. And I lived in Louisville for 17 years
wow.
before I moved to Lexington. So
Okay. And did you go to school, like college in Indiana?
I went to school in southern Indiana. Yeah.
Okay. And like obviously before you got to LA, what other kind of jobs did you had that led to, where you're at now? Because as
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
we've
So my
met you,
background is
yeah.
craft beer,
Okay.
actually. Yeah, so I have been in craft beer for 20 years now. Yes, and so specifically craft beer. And so in the Louisville area mostly. And then, um, you know, COVID happened, and I think people really leaned into things that interested them. And, like gardening is a huge part of my life. I've raised
Yeah.
chickens for almost 15 years now. And just these sort of like,
You're a country
I, I'm,
girl.
yeah, I'm like, yeah, I love that space. And
Hmm.
my family, we're very into hiking, and
Hmm.
we rock climb and canoe and kayak, and just we're always at the Red. And even, when we were in Louisville, and so, kind of doing that little bit of that COVID soul searching thing. And I had a friend who had started working at App Harvest. And whoa, I went and visited him at the plant, out in Moorhead, the original farm out there. And it was actually on my birthday that I went
Wow.
out there.
Happy
And
birthday.
it was like the best birthday present ever.
Who
I
wants to
couldn't,
see
I
the
mean,
largest greenhouse in North America?
I'm telling you. And even then, once I was very fortunate enough to get hired there and move my family to Lexington, obviously transitioning from craft beer to agriculture was odd, but also like a dream of mine.
Wow.
And you never do, I'm sure you all like can attest to this, coming from the interstate and going around that corner and seeing that farm, you never like forget. And it didn't matter how many times I did it,
Yeah.
multiple times a week, every day in a row. I'd come around that corner. I'm like, whew, there it
Yes.
is. That's
We,
crazy.
I,
Like, yeah.
my dad and I, Jared's dad too, we just went by there this past weekend. And like you said, every time you round that corner, I'm like, God,
It's like a
I mean,
spaceship.
like
it
doggone, son.
is.
It'll
Yeah.
it'll expand your mind. But I think it is the thing that makes it cool too is like in the background is the rolling hills, of Appalachian. It's just
I'll
perfect,
never forget it.
picturesque, beautiful Kentucky farmland. But yeah, that's where I guess, met you, Jesse, is
Yeah.
there because you were in. What was your official title? Because I know you did a lot, but
Yeah, I was hired as a project manager for events, and then I transitioned onto our product marketing team and was doing customer management. So kind of really a lot of stuff. I worked with mostly the product marketing and like our creative team.
well, you did awesome because I remember, Jared, you remember too. They're like, we're going to introduce you guys to Jessy Harding, who's our new team member, and we never met, but I was like, wow, I really like her. She's energetic, she's creative,
Yeah.
and a good work partner too.
Yeah,
So
I didn't know that you jumped into that after craft beer. I thought you might have had another job at some other type of brand or something like that. So I didn't even know that. That's cool.
Yeah. And I mean, I worked on a reasonably sized brand, I mean, small company, but like a pretty well-known beer brand in Louisville. And then, so my brand knowledge was pretty strong, but yeah, like agriculture and that whole space was all completely new. And yeah, I mean, that's why I made it to Lexington and met, you all. I met a ton of really great partners and just even friends that I'm still friends with now through, a lot of like-minded
Yeah.
individuals and people that were, all seeking the same kind of thing, especially like in a COVID slash post-COVID world.
Hmm.
So, I mean, yeah, it was a huge benefit.
Was that about the time, like, was it before COVID, like Kentucky Guild of Brewers? Well, that's in 2022, I think. So that probably right after COVID, you
Yeah,
become,
so I started in App Harvest in 2021, and then I was there for a year. And then, slowly but surely it was coming to layoffs and things like that. And so I took a little bit of time, not much, maybe like a month, to just
Yeah.
sort of kind of figure out what was next because really all I knew was craft beer. And then I had a year of agriculture, and it just happened to be that the former executive director of the guild, who, through my work in craft beer, I had worked with for years as well, put in his notice. And so I had several people messaging me like, hey, I know that you are, going to be possibly looking for work. And so I went on as interim just for the transition, so that he could kind of offload information, just a short contract. And then that July of 22, they hired me full time. And so I still do that. I'm still the executive director. I did that full time for, well, I guess a year then,
Yeah.
before I saw the brand activation role at Ale8 come up, which again, a handful of people messaged me and said, did you see that Ale8's hiring? And like, this is right up your alley and
Wow.
perfect. And yeah, and so, and it's really interesting how it's all interconnected because, I actually met who at the time was the hiring person for the role, the brand activation role. I met him at a beer festival in Louisville while he was there representing LA and I was there representing the guild. And I was like, hey, what do you know about this job? And, not thinking that it would be the hiring person. And he's like, oh, I'm actually the person hiring
Wow.
for that role. I'm like, oh, great. So then I messaged him on LinkedIn like a couple days later and interviewed and ended up obviously like filling in. So, it's all really connected. And then the breweries that I still work with, so many of them carry a late in their tap rooms and they host
Hmm.
events with us. And so it's really symbiotic, even though it's two separate worlds.
That's wild how things work out like that. But that's such a great fit too. All the things you like to do and that you're about. Obviously, it's a great fit with L8. And to talk about like the brewery scene, like I mean, for people that don't know, Kentucky has I think, a great beer scene. I mean, would you attest to that for people that don't
I
know?
would.
Jared's
Yeah,
drinking one
absolutely.
right
I would.
now.
I got one.
That's why he's
I
a little
got one right
slow this
now.
morning.
I got one right now.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
That's all right. Hey,
But
can I
not.
just say real quick too before we dive on in on brewery, like Jesse, like that's so important. Like even people listening, like going to these events, like let's say it's Rocktoberfest with the coalition or like a brewery, like the guild has a fest. Like going to these events, you just don't know who you'll meet or run into, and there's the power of being in person is so strong, and it's like you can be stuck at home behind the computer trying to network, but getting out, going to these festivals, going to these events, so much magic happens. It's happened for us at NF. Like we're like, oh my God, if we didn't go set up at this brew fest, then can you imagine we'd have never met? So I
Yep. I
just
think
heard you
that's
say
so
that.
important.
I heard you
Yeah.
say that, and I
Now
think
more
it's
than
so
ever.
for sure, for sure. But sorry,
Yeah.
Jared, to cut you off, but I feel like that was like
No,
super
you're right.
important. You know,
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I want to talk about Rocktoberfest so much because it's my favorite event.
It's
yes,
so fun. It's
yes.
also one of my favorite events.
Oh, I'm getting chills already.
So you introduced us, you invited us, correct, to set up at Rocktoberfest several years ago for the first time, right?
Yep.
And that's turned out to be probably my favorite event that we do
Me too.
in the year, just because it's in the Gorge, it's in the fall, it's like a magical time to be there. And to be honest, we hadn't really been around the rock climbing scene, the people until then. And I've loved every minute of it. So I'm looking forward to this year.
Yeah, same. Every year has gotten, I mean, every year has gotten better and better. I don't know how they keep topping it every year, but no, I am on the events committee for the Red River Gorge Climbers Coalition, who
Hmm.
hosts Rocktoberfest. And so, yeah, you know, I've had to take slightly, less of an involved standpoint. I mean, I'm still in the events committee. I like chime in ideas more than I probably execute anymore, just because I do tend to be quite busy. But there were a couple years there where I, was helping facilitate some stuff. And so, yeah, you all being there was definitely part of that. And I was so psyched when, because you all have been there, obviously, at Land of the Arches. There's not a ton of room to keep growing and adding more booths. So we just about hit the limit every single year of like, oh my gosh. And we find great partners along the way, but it's really hard to fit everyone.
It's
And
becoming
somehow I swear
exclusive.
to you, they're like creating space. I have no idea how. They're like, oh, we have 5 more booths this year, and
Yeah.
magically it fits. I don't know, but so it was a natural fit for you all. I mean, obviously I'm familiar with your brand, and then on both sides of that,
But
it's such a great
but
event
there's
though.
so
I'm
yeah,
looking
there's like
so
so
forward
many
to it.
people that come in just like for that event in particular, like people from out of state come in, have no idea who we are, or some people who've never been to the Gorge have even came in like, what is this? And it's just so cool
Yeah.
that people are introduced to like the Gorge or Kentucky and they see L8, they see New Frontier, they see, you know, Miguel's or Red Point or whatever. But I think that's super cool and important. But yeah, super. I'm already looking forward to it. Jared's looking forward to the what's inside. It's like a
At
disco, not a
the,
disco.
uh,
But
it's like just a dance party.
it's a dance party.
I know. I cheersed you guys at the dance party last
Oh
year.
my
It
gosh.
was it's like a rave, isn't it?
It's rave adjacent for sure. Yeah.
And it's just cool. It's like it's kind of a cool mix of Kentucky things. Obviously L8's always there, and like it's
Yeah.
just a cool cool event. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it for this year. Um, but will we be able to bring the 100-year gear there this year, or will that still be?
Yeah. I don't see
Yeah.
why not.
Yeah, it's
Oh man.
It's your
October
gear.
26th. Yeah. Ask yourself, Jared. Have a here. We can take a moment. Ask yourself. It's all right.
Yeah.
No, that'd be a great opportunity to have like the
Yeah, I think
100.
so. I mean, obviously we'll be there. We're always there. We being L8 is always there. And then the guild is represented. We have a couple of craft breweries there also. But yeah,
Awesome.
I think you guys should definitely have the gear there because, I mean, no one loves L8 more than probably rock climbers in the gorge.
That's for sure.
100%. If you pull into like McGill's or if you go to the Rock House or any of those restaurants, like most climbers all have like an L8 or people from out of town are sipping an L8 right there.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite things to do when I go to Miguel's is count how many people on site are drinking L8.
Hmm.
So Jesse, we kind of jumped off, but to jump back on to the L8 surfboard, if you will, and ride that wave. When you transition from, like, App Harvest, you left there, and there's probably a moment where you're like, what am I going to do, maybe? And like going to L8 seems like a perfect fit for you. I mean, it seems like it's like an
Hmm.
NBA player getting traded to a team that makes so much sense. But like
Yeah.
L8's, favorite of everybody. And like, as far as like energy and branding, I feel like since you stepped in and others in the team, it's been rocking. So what's that been
Yeah.
like? Is there a secret? Is there some magic to it or?
Yeah, Ailade is the secret and the magic for real because I think just, you know, it's very similar to the app harvest thing of just finding like-minded individuals and people who care about, and honestly the craft beer side too, just people who care so immensely about something. Um, it's a family-owned company. Um, there's only 3% of soft drink companies that are still family owned.
Holy smokes.
Or I'm sorry, of 100-year-old companies, not soft drink companies, of 100-year-old companies are still family owned, and we are one of them. Like that's a
That's incredible. I mean,
that's a crazy
yeah,
stat, right?
it
Like
is.
I don't even know how to like put that
And
really
yeah,
into
it's time.
understanding.
Yeah, time tested and just the family legacy, multi generation. It's so cool to see it continue to carry
Yeah.
over. And
And they're just such a great company to work for. They keep their employee. I mean, I think especially because they're family owned, they keep the employees at top of mind with every decision. They're always finding new ways to support and expand on how they support the employees. So, you know, that's part of it. Like obviously we have a great team and they're talented people and they're, you know, experts in their field and all of that, you know, you can have that in so many places though, but being in a place that represents and means something to so many people, like it's such a good feel good space to be in. So I
Hmm.
think, you know, it really makes people like want to show up to be at work and contribute to something that, you know, that people
A
really do
hundred
care about so
percent.
much.
We felt that, Jared, when we walked in to LA
Yep.
this a couple months ago. Well, not a couple, but in February of 26, we did the tour, and as soon as we walked in, the lady behind the front desk, it starts right there. She was so nice and so welcoming. She's like, "Oh, just one moment. Y'all want something to drink? Let's wait on Jesse." And I'm like, "This feels family founded, like a and at home. You
Yeah,
know, you can
Feels like
tell."
yeah, feels like a
But
small business, but it's not. It has that feel from like the forklift driver and everybody
that's
on
right.
staff. Everybody's super cool. And Josh drank about 10
shout
L8s
out,
in the lobby.
shout out, Fred White. Oh, we drank so
Yeah.
much L8 that day. It was so good. It was so good.
Yeah. I mean, getting one cold off the line, there's nothing like it.
This is
That,
yeah, probably
go
dumb
ahead,
question,
Josh.
Jesse, but do you all just y'all ever drink just sit around and drink them, or you're like, yeah, we got to pace ourselves here a little bit?
Yeah, I really have to pay some. I don't drink like really any pop outside of LA, and
Me either.
so I really do have to pace myself. I think last year when Paw Paw was put out, which is, I mean, I assume you all have had it, but it's so good.
Hmm.
And I had two, like we did an employee, you know, launch where we cater lunch and celebrate the new flavor with all the staff. And I had two of them back to back, like within probably 20 minutes. And I was just zooming around this office, like so high energy, just ready to like. Then I had so many people comment, were like, I think you need to drink a couple ALAs every day more often
Yeah.
because yeah, I was just feeling good. So yeah, I definitely have to pace myself for sure.
I mean, we could talk about it later, but the pawpaw thing, like, that's become its own beast. I feel like people have been so excited for this release and like
Yeah.
amped up for it.
Yeah, it really has. People, you know, we obviously we hoped that it would be really
Yeah.
successful, you know, with the release and when planning it out and, you know, working with K-State on the partnership. They're the um, largest, they're the only research organization in the nation doing pawpaw research.
Wow.
And so partnering with them on it. And, you know, we kind of knew like there's this like niche of people who are going to know, and whether that's like pawpaw enthusiasts who are now kind of getting into that side of agriculture, or if it's like the people who really like rural folks usually are the ones who know about pawpaws because
Yep.
they are on their property, they're in their woods. Um, could never have imagined how many people actually do know about pawpaw and love pawpaw. I mean, we had people reaching out to us from Canada, New York,
Hmm.
Wow.
Florida. I mean, all over the place. Like, we need it, Georgia, we need to get our hands on this pawpaw because they have festivals or they have, you know, and just we had a lot of really good feedback that we didn't anticipate about like pawpaw farmers being so grateful that attention was getting put on the fruit because they're kind of, yeah, I mean, you know, all know how social media and things like if you're not in an algorithm, you're lost, and they're constantly trying to let people know about this incredible fruit that they're
Yeah.
cultivating. And then we put out this soft drink that actually people are like, well, what is that?
Hmm.
And now people are doing research and finding out what it is. And so it's been a cool surprise in that sense. But yeah, people are really wild for it.
Oh, yeah. And for people that don't know, the pawpaw is a native Kentucky fruit, and it's called the Kentucky banana, correct?
That's right. Yep, it's
That's
the
it.
only tropical fruit indigenous to this area.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, just as you all have released it, I've just the social media hype for it, and like, and when we released a teaser for our collab, people like fans would comment under it like, "Release Pawpaw, release Pawpaw."
Yeah. It's,
Like,
every flavor has like a little bit of its fan base. Like, before we re-brought peach back out this year, it's always, you say, oh, we're bringing Blackberry Zero for the first time. And people are like, well, where's peach? It's like, okay, but Pawpaw is the one that like consistently my event team through the year has been the number one. Like, are you doing it again? When will it be out again if you are? Just the excitement's been crazy. So it came out July 20th.
boom.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like it feels like the release of like a certain like Air Jordan shoe or something that's like you can't always get, but people are waiting for it and they're hyped for it. That's what it feels like and reminds me of. And you guys have done a good job of like drawing back the arrow and like releasing it at the right times.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, like
Hmm.
I got Jesse, I text you like last week. I mean, we had news stations asking us if we knew anything about the release, and I'm like, listen, I don't work for
I don't know
LA.
anything.
We just collab with them. I'll let them answer that. But a
Yeah.
testament to building up all this hype for it. And I was just with some of the Creekers band last night on the lake, and they opened up their cooler, and there's so much L8 in there it'd scare you. There's blackberry and no pawpaw yet, but they said they love pawpaw flavor. But everybody's got their own favorite flavor. I'm a regular diet guy.
Hmm.
I was gonna ask Jesse what your favorite flavor was.
So outside of original, which, as we all know, nothing beats the OG,
Hmm.
I love the Roxacola.
Yeah.
I I am a cola girl anyway, just in general. If I do drink a pop, if it's not LA, I'm gonna lean toward a cola. And I just also the Roxa Zero is chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Love
Other
it.
money. Jared, how
Was
about
that
you?
Diet L8's my go-to always. But I was gonna ask, was Roxacola the original drink that the
Yeah,
company
so a lot of
started?
people don't know this. The company was actually founded originally not 100 years ago, in 1902, with Roxa Cola. Well, really, it was Wayne Scott's Flavors, which were just a line of flavored sodas. Um, and then Roxa Cola came, I think, 1906 and was named for G.L. Wayne Scott, the founder's wife, Roxanne. And then the Ale8 was sued by a notable cola company, in which case we actually won the
Woo.
case in the Fayette County Court, and we
Nice.
won the appeal for the case as
Oh
well.
yeah.
But being the entrepreneur and the businessman that he was, GL wanted to branch out and not have that other, sort of competition and this
Yeah.
sort of like hanging over the side of the brand. And so for 20 years, he worked on the
Wow.
recipe for Ale 8 from 1906 until
Legend.
1926. Yeah.
I
And
didn't know
so
that.
he had traveled to Europe and he'd tried ginger beer. And, if you've ever had ginger beer, it's like pretty spicy and
Hmm.
tends to lean more ginger. And so he wanted it to be more palatable for a wide variety of folks. So he played with that recipe for 20 years. And then at the Clark County Fair in Winchester in 1926, he debuted it and they had a naming contest. And the story goes that a little girl said, you know, this is it's a late one because it's like the latest thing that was like slang back then for the latest thing in soft drinks. And so then he shortened it to be Ale 81.
Wow.
And the rest truly is 100 years of history.
Holy
Wow.
smokes. That's so
Yeah.
awesome. They need to make a
Yeah.
movie.
So
We need a
they
TV
continued
series.
to make, I know we really do. They continued to make Roxacola into, I think, the 50s. And
Hmm.
then we brought it back in 2023.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
That's so
Yeah.
cool. I remember just literally my first field trip when I was in elementary school was to L81. And I remember it like it was yesterday. And I was like, wow. I still remember they served us a little sample in a little paper cup. And I was like, this place is awesome. I thought it was like the
Yeah.
North Pole. But I still feel that way, actually.
Yeah,
But
it's like Willy Wonka's factory for Kentuckians, and if you like, people that love LA, that's what it felt like. But still talk about still being family owned. Is it Fielding correct and his sister that
Yeah.
are the two left in the family that still work and run?
Yeah, so Fielding is our chairman and owner of the company. And he took over, oof, I can't even
Yeah.
don't ask me to fact check, but
No fact check.
yeah, several years ago, long before I got here, he took over from his dad, Buddy, and yeah, Fielding is still the one that's going up in his office and mixing the secret recipe using, the paper notes that were his great great uncle Wayne Scott's handwritten recipe notes.
Wow.
And he's the only
Ooh.
one allowed in that room. It's, behind a locked case in a safe, and it's very, I like to say that it's like we're like Bush's baked beans of Kentucky. It's like the family secret recipe.
So you've never seen it, take a little
Oh,
peek. No,
not even
no.
close. I didn't even go. So it's up a spiral staircase, which is pretty cool.
That's
And
even
I never
cooler.
even went up the spiral staircase until like 6 months ago, and I've worked here for 3.5 years.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh, that's incredible. I
it
remember when
is.
we
It's
did the
pretty cool.
tour, I saw that staircase and I got intimidated. And at just
Yeah,
the mystery, what was up those
Mystery.
and behind the safe. I wonder what
yeah.
it looks like.
Yeah,
But
I mean, we have some artifacts around the office that are dated same time, so I feel like we have like sort of an understanding of probably what it kind of looks like. We have some of his other
ooh,
handwritten things like orders and things like that, but the recipe itself is safe and secure, locked up.
That's awesome.
that is so
The
cool.
the Krabby Patty secret formula.
Yeah.
So, I mean, such an awesome brand, and obviously, like this is like a huge year, and you guys have been rolling out so many new things. What's been one of your favorite, like I don't know, like campaigns you've worked on for the 100-year launch? And there's a lot. I know there's probably a lot of activations.
Yeah, I think two kind of stand out. Well, just like doing all of the just like the branding and getting some of our like when we are out, even if we're just doing a standard sampling in a Kroger or another type of store, updating our branding with the cool, we have our bottle timeline and just some of these little historic tidbits so that people can really lean into understanding like what exactly 100 years really means has been
Hmm.
super fun. And then I would say the two, of course, we did a sweepstakes. It's over now, but we did an in-store sweepstakes where you could upload a receipt of proof of payment or proof of purchase of any Ale8 product and be entered to win one of 100 prizes. And one little tiny portion of that I worked on is a partnership with the Hideaways, which is a group in the Gorge that
Yeah, yeah.
has a bunch of cabins.
Yep.
And so
Yeah.
we're giving away or gave away a 5 weekend stays at like an Ale 8 themed cabin at the
Wow.
Gorge.
Oh,
So
that's
it'll
cool.
have some decor and like, of course, product and different
And
things.
Jared in there serving behind the counter. It'll have
Yes,
Jared in the
perfect.
kitchen serving L81.
That's an additional fee.
That's funny.
Oh, yeah, that's for the VIP section.
My next thing that I have been highly focused on working on and is definitely the most exciting, I think, is we are hosting a 100 anniversary birthday party in downtown Winchester on 8/1, August
Wow.
1st. Could not have planned it better that in our 100th year, 8/1 lands on a Saturday. So
Wow.
I know the
Perfect.
stars aligned.
Perfect.
It's crazy. So we will be in downtown Winchester, and we have live music, and we have all kinds of vendors and food trucks, and some kid activities. We have a live slash like contributory mural, so attendees can actually come up and help paint a mural that will end up being hung at the plant, so that they can have some little piece of history that they
That's cool.
contributed to this artwork that's going to be at the plant after.
That's
I'm
going to
so
be a
I'm so
magical
glad
day.
that yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up because I wanted to talk about it. That's going to be a magical day, once in a lifetime in Kentucky. 8/1 on a Saturday. Folks aren't going to want to miss that, and it's going to
No,
be an
and you
awesome
guys
day.
are going to be there.
We're
Union
going to be
Frontier's going to
there.
be there.
Josh will be there, handing out free stuff, maybe.
Jesse, do we have to wear beard nets to that and hair nets to that or no?
No, when I saw some of the collab teaser stuff come out, like I know that the filming took place in the plant. I was so surprised that you all just were like, screw it, let's put ourselves on the internet in a beard net.
Screw it. Let's do it. We
Yeah.
just want to show the folks that we abide by the safety regulations for the state of
Thank you. We
Kentucky.
are a very safety first company, so we
And
For
appreciate
sure.
that.
absolutely.
Josh's beard net got its own fan page, I think, after that.
Yeah. Well, I heard that there might be New Frontier LA beard net line coming out.
Camo beard net for all those factory workers out there.
Camo beard nets for LA Day, but that's going to
How
be
will
all.
you see the workers?
Yeah.
You won't.
There's no workers in here. Where'd they go? Yeah, that's the L8 day. I'm looking forward to it. Well, yeah, New Frontier will be
same.
set up there selling. I'm pretty sure just L8 gear. So that's going to be awesome.
move.
I'm excited to go just as an L8 lover.
Yeah,
not
for
even
sure.
sell stuff. So, and
Yeah, we'll have a gift shop and a mini museum that will have some of the historic items and things visible on display for people to see. So should be cool.
oh yeah, Jesse, I know too. Like we probably can't say yet where, but I know that we're all working on the collab gear, the L8 collab being available in other stores and locations. So I guess all that to say, for folks listening, because we're getting asked like every day, like, can we find the gear in stores or is it just online? Like, it will be available in other cities coming very soon, or perhaps when you hear this. So we just had to
Yeah.
mention that, but some really big stores, I will say.
Big stores, I'm very excited. I mean, I'm a big fan of all of these stores actually. So, yeah.
It's going to be fun. Keep an eye out for that, y'all. Yeah, we'll make that one
Yeah.
fun. And now, a word from our sponsors. L81, the official soft drink of the New Frontier Show. And I've got to say, I'm enjoying a nice, cold, refreshing Diet L8 myself right at this very moment. Thank you to all the folks at L81. Back to the show.
And one other thing, while we're talking about like the rollout of the 100-year, I thought that the birthday video was really cool, and some of the cameos that were in it. What was that like? Setting up like Steve Zahn and some of those people to be in that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, the really cool part, and we've obviously alluded to it a bunch, is that people are such fans that we really didn't have to set anything up. We put a call out and asked people who are fans and who love the brand and love us to submit their own videos. So those were of their own accord as folks who, just are big fans of the brand. And
Oh yeah.
we have formerly worked with like Steve Zahn. He's living in Kentucky and he loves his LA. So we actually did a little work with him on his most recent independent film that came out. And so, it's just, I think that is just a testament to show like we just said, hey, if you love the brand, please send us this and we'll use it if we can. We even, the video probably would have been 10 minutes long if we had put everybody in it that sent to us. And, the governor posted a video as well, shouting us out. So the feedback has just been overwhelming.
That's cool. Yeah, I saw Andy used a bottle opener. Maybe he didn't know it was a twist off, but we'll let him slide
I'm
on that
telling
one.
you, this man could not win with that video. It was every comment was, he must not be from around here. That must be his first LA.
No,
Sometimes I'll give him a little slack.
tough.
Sometimes, if like you got a sweaty hand, you might have to throw a t-shirt or a little, a little fabric on there.
twist.
I always have to put fabric
know?
on it. We twist them on tight, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, but they're good, so it's all right. It's all right, Governor.
Yeah, we'll cut
Just
him a
next
break.
time, just go ahead and grab that baby and rip it off.
We need to get
Yeah.
Andy to LA Day. He needs to be there.
Yes, being the family man that he is, I believe he has some commitments with his children that day.
Oh, come on, Will.
But he's there in spirit for sure, and I think he'll have some folks from his office down to congratulate us.
Rocky.
Man,
Rocky
yeah,
would be
yeah.
cool, but he's in retirement phase, right?
Yeah.
he's retired. Maybe. I mean, like, so once, this is a dumb question. So once, obviously, like, December 31st hits, the 100-year celebrations end, and it's on to the next, right?
I mean, yeah, a little bit. I think, there's always some level of attributing back that now that we've crossed this milestone, being able to continually celebrate that because it is such a huge milestone. But yeah, I mean, we're always doing new things, seeing what our fans want, what our fans
Yeah,
are interested in. And so, yeah, I mean, we're always innovating over here.
you guys are. And other than L8 Day, is there anything else on the horizon, or maybe you can't speak of it, but there's other things that people can be excited for the rest of the year?
Well, if you know L8, there's always things to be excited for.
There you go.
Always, always.
Always. Yeah.
And two, like, just like you were talking a lot about LA, of course, but you wear a lot of hats from the coalition to the guild. And like also too, as you mentioned, you're leading your neighborhood. You want to, that's
Yeah.
maybe the most important thing. Um, I
Yeah.
wanted to ask too, like, you're super busy. And by the way, thanks for jumping on here. Like, I know you're just swamped, but like, what are some things that you do to stay fresh and have fresh energy? Like every time I see you, you have all this great energy and great ideas. Like, what do you do maybe to recharge? And it sounded like maybe earlier you mentioned like you love being outdoors. Maybe that's it. But I wanted to ask you.
Yeah. Honestly, like, yeah, being outdoors with my family is definitely rejuvenation time.
Hmm.
I have a 10 and a half year old son and a husband, and we are always doing something, and primarily nature oriented if we can squeeze it in. There's obviously the other commitments of life, but that's definitely one of them. Just trying our best to constantly be exploring new parts of Kentucky, because there's so much to explore here. I feel like I've done so much here, and I haven't even scratched the surface. Gardening, of course, tending to my flock.
What's you growing? What's you growing in there? Is there a lot
I
of stuff?
have tomatoes, a few different kinds of peppers, kale, Swiss chard, radishes, beets, snap peas, spinach. Some of it's starting to like toe a line on being around anymore. A lot of herbs, tons and tons of herbs. I have a cut flower garden. I'm sure potatoes.
Golly.
I try carrots. They're really tough. I get like pretty small carrots, radishes. Yeah, a lot of stuff. Anything I really can.
Has it been a good year for gardeners? Like I was looking at a cornfield yesterday. I'm like, I wonder if it's been a good year because the crops looked healthy, but like all the rain
So
and the heat.
yeah, it's been an interesting year for sure. Like last year, my tomatoes did horribly, but this year I have you all like I don't even know if you know what this means, but like a volunteer tomato. Normally you plant your own tomato plants or you start them from seed inside and then transplant them. I had 38 volunteer tomato plants.
Whoa.
38. Just, I mean, in the crack of my driveway, tomato plant.
I feel
Like,
like
I
that's a
don't even know
lot.
where it, I have two normally that come back every year. And mostly because, like,
38.
some of them fall and I let them do their thing because I want them to come back in that area. But no, I mean, they're popping up in crazy places. I've had to pull them and repot them and put them elsewhere. I've given them away, because I also plant. That's not including what I planted. That was just volunteers, which is just crazy, crazy. So the rain has been really good for like that side of things. But then I don't know, like my pepper plants usually get really tall and they're like a foot tall, but they're
Wow.
producing fruit. So yeah, I don't know. It's been weird.
Wow. Yeah, I was I was gonna say you just stay charged up off LA, just the sugar high off that. But you
Yeah.
mentioned like being outside. We know you love the gorge. What's like your favorite? Do you have a favorite campground or a favorite hike that you all do at the gorge?
I do. Well, my favorite hike, which probably this is everyone's favorite hike,
Yeah.
but I love Auxier Ridge to Double Arch
Yep.
is like there's something so magical. My birthday's in the winter, so I've hiked it a couple times for my birthday, and it's honestly it's just as magical in the winter when there's no trees on the leaves and you can really see
Oh
the
yeah.
land and the foothills is awesome. And then my favorite campground, shout out Lago Linda. If you've never been to Lago Linda, man, is it the best. They've got hiking trails there, they've got a pond, you can go fishing, they've got an awesome little camp store. They serve up some real nice breakfast if you don't feel like cooking at your own
I didn't
campsite.
know that.
Wow.
Yes, it's great. They serve a ton of L8.
Boom.
It's awesome.
I'll
Yeah.
have to check that out for sure, especially the breakfast part. Yummy.
Oh yeah. They do it
Yeah.
up. They do specials. It's great.
Where is that at exactly? Like close to in the gorge?
It's kind of by like, um, hmm, honestly, don't ask me where it's
Or
at.
maybe we don't want people to know,
It's
so
like
no
in
one goes there.
Beattyville. It's like in the Beattyville area.
Gotcha.
I will
Yeah.
say, going down through the gorge recently, it has, I love to see it grow, but I want to see it, not selfishly, I want to keep it low key so you don't have to hit traffic and things. But it is cool to
Yeah.
see it grow because that provides some local jobs and stuff, which is cool.
Yeah.
But
It's definitely a catch-22. I mean, the infrastructure and the things there and the jobs that are, being had and all of that. But yeah, I mean, you start thinking about other kind of like mountain towns that have gotten
yeah,
really touristy and it's like, oof, I kind of, we need to like toe a line, keep it
Yeah.
protected and yeah. But
100%.
So you've been in Kentucky for a while. You're an honorary Kentuckian. You're a Kentuckian by now, no longer an Indianan. Indianan.
Hoosier.
Who's your man?
Hoosier. Oh, let's see. I didn't even know that.
There you go.
I was gonna ask, since you've been like, what's your favorite thing about Kentucky?
Man, what
Can be
a
more than one.
crazy, yeah, I was gonna say, what a crazy tough question. I think that is a tough question because there's so much to love here. I have loved, like, I'm obsessed with Kentucky, honestly. Like, I feel like that's part of the reason when I was applying and interviewing at Ale8 that I was like so diehard about Kentucky. They're like, we must hire this girl or she's gonna freak out because she loves Kentucky so much. But I just love, like, I love the culture. I love the people. Like everyone is so tied to like just this like rich history with their family lineage or with Appalachia. I love the foothills. I love like, I don't know if people know, but like in Pine Mountain is like Kentucky's largest old growth forest. There are trees there that like Daniel Boone would have seen crossing the Cumberland Gap. Like that still exists. That's
That's
so
cool.
crazy to me.
That's really cool.
The longest cave system in the world. Like there's just so much abundant nature and beauty here. It's like also kind of like protecting the red on the tourist side. Like it's like when people are like, "Oh, Kentucky, we don't, never been there." I'm like, "Don't bother. You can don't worry about it. There's nothing
Yeah.
to see here because it is so magical and people just don't even know." Um, I love taking people to my favorite swimming holes in the red. Other people know of these places, of course, but it's not like something that you're just Googling.
Hmm.
My favorite small town in Kentucky, Moorhead.
Yeah.
Shout
Oh,
out. I'm
really?
not
Is
kidding
it
you all. I
now?
tell everyone, yes, are you kidding?
Okay.
I love Moorhead so much. I just love the little like entertainment district and I love going to Sawstone. And I will say there's a former pizza place that I loved getting pizza from that's not there anymore. But I love having a
Oh,
little
yeah.
beer on Bats and Oats and going and getting some food at the Duck. And I love it in
It's
Moorhead. And
It,
I love Cave Run. I mean, Cave Run is probably
shout
the
out.
most magical place ever. I know
Cave
you all
Run.
love Cave Run.
we
Cave Run
love
is
it.
slept. Cave Run slept on. A lot of people obviously Lake Cumberland's great, but Cave Run's very special. It's small, but it's very beautiful. You've got the hills rolling into the lake,
Yeah,
and you mentioned Saltstone. Are they a part of that Brewers Guild?
they sure are.
I love Saltstone. Those guys are
Me too.
great.
They are.
That's Moorhead needed that, and it's a brewery like a brewery is such a special place like in a small town that like everyone can gather at and
A
come
third
together.
space, as is common to call places now. It's like
Yes.
a third space for people to go and have community
Hmm.
and just be able to connect with people. And yeah, and
Community.
then, yeah, community for sure. And then speaking of, I have to say, even though I do love Lago Linda, secondary shout out to Twin Knobs because I do camp at
oh,
Twin Knobs
yeah.
every year too.
It's pretty.
Yeah,
Just drove by last
gorgeous.
night and looked up through those trees and saw the little campers and lights and smoke. And I'm like, oh, I want to be up there all summer and
Yeah,
nobody talk to me.
yeah, it's so nice.
I know you can't. It's like children. You can't name your favorite, but what are maybe a couple other of your favorite breweries, if you can mention them across the state that people should check out, or just you
Every
like
single one of them. Go.
all of them go?
Yes, I think technically for my role, I'm probably not allowed to name
Okay.
drop any favorites. But I could do like a style of beer that I
I
love.
was
I
going to ask you your
love,
favorite beer. Yeah.
Yeah, go. Let's do
yes.
that.
So
It's on my
my
note.
favorite beer is Echt Schlenkerla Rauch beer, which is a smoked lager, and it is phenomenal. I highly recommend
What
it.
was that name?
It's Echt Schlenkerla Rauch beer. So you do with that information what you would like. But it's uh, it's a smoked beer, which I love. It's
Ooh.
in Bamberg, Germany, is where the brewery is located. Um, but outside of that, I love like a Vienna lager. I love a brown ale. I love a black lager. Um, yeah, usually like malty. I like hoppy beers too, but really I like all beers. This is one of those, I'll just keep listing every style of
I
beer
I should
until
have known. I knew it when I was asking it. She can't name some of her favorites because they're all great in their own way. But
they are.
shout out to Kentucky breweries and the community
Jared,
that
what's
they
your
build.
favorite beer?
Oh, Saltstone, Blunt, the cream ale. I can shout out Saltstone. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but yeah, and I'd be remiss before we get off here. What was your favorite item from the New Frontier 100-year collection? If you had to pick one, you won't.
Okay.
Josh won't be
One.
mad. Pick two, one or two.
Okay, I'm gonna pick two.
Or the whole collection.
Yeah, I know. I was like, just one is really strong arming me here. The tech short for
Yep.
sure. And then I love the 100 camo hat with the like cream with the camo bill. I think is super clean. It looks so fresh. And the tech short is so cool because, you know, I think it's one of those cool things like you're going to be able to see that you see people wearing the tech shorts, you know, out hiking or climbing or kayaking or whatever they're doing. But like just seeing that pop of Ale8 on there is like, oh, sweet. Yeah.
The tech.
Because
Yeah.
you know when you think, or a lot of people when they think of L8, a lot of them think of the Gorge, and it just really ties in hiking, a tech short you can wear, and you can represent your favorite beverage
That's right.
I
when you're
tested them
hiking.
on the lake yesterday, and they get a big check mark.
Boom.
Heck
They
yeah.
test in
Can't
that
wait to
like
get mine.
cave run water, big check,
That's awesome. I
100%.
love it.
Well, Jesse, we know you're super busy. You've probably got a million things to do the rest of the day, so we appreciate you hopping on for a little bit.
Jared's
Yeah,
trying.
anytime.
Jared's trying to land the plane, but I have like three more
Oh
things.
gosh.
Okay.
If we,
Yeah, three, but we got time.
it's quick.
Okay.
It's quick. This is like tic tac toe, but like this is a little more like you know outlook for L8, and this might be kind of tough. Again, you don't really know, but like looking out ahead, 3 to 5 years or something, even with like the RRGC like committee and things like, what are some things that excite you about the future of L8 or the committees that you're on, or where would you like to see them go? Like I know for New Frontier, you know, people ask like, what's next for you all? It's like we're just continuing on our mission to champion Kentucky and Appalachia. So like maybe it's as simple as that. But I didn't know if y'all,
Yeah.
you know, what your take on it was.
Yeah. I mean, I think what's next? I mean, like I said, we're always trying to figure out what our fans want next, and I think that's part of the fun is hearing what people have to say and what they respond to. So, you know, I think that focusing on what the true fans really want and then also growing, right? Like we are regional. I mean, technically we're nationwide, right? You can get us in Cracker Barrel nationwide, Fresh Start nationwide. But we're really deep rooted, of course, in Kentucky. We're in this sort of, you know, like Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Tennessee, West Virginia area, and being able to continue to expand upon that and share what is so special about the brand and why people in those places are going so crazy all the time for us. That's like a big part of where I hope to see it going, you know.
Oh yeah.
Guild, Kentucky beer, man, I mean, I love a good beer. And like you said, sense of community. I think using them as third spaces and community hubs to bring people together. As you mentioned earlier, Josh, just like being around people in person, you make so many more connections and meet people, and it turns into who knows what kind of opportunity or business arrangement or side hustle or fun, anything can happen. And then as VP of my neighborhood association, would just love to continue to see people get involved in their local communities as well. Meet your neighbors. It really helps, when you've got 38 volunteer tomato plants, you can give your plants out to your neighbors.
You make
and
friends
things,
pretty
so.
quick then,
You
yeah.
make friends pretty quick. Yeah. So just getting involved and the coalition, constantly protecting land so people have access to appreciate and value what's around us, especially in this beautiful, beautiful
Yeah,
state.
that
So,
I
Love it.
wrote that down as a note, just like the importance of the coalition, Red River Gorge Climbing Coalition, like the importance of protecting the land down there is
Protect the
so
red.
sacred. I won't go too deep on it, but it's so important to protect that sacred land down there. So I
agree.
love what you all do with that. And two, fun one. We'll go 2, 3, and then we're out of here. Two, I wanted to ask you your favorite music. You have good taste in music, I feel like, and it might be tough.
It is very tough. I listen to a broad variety of things. I mean, I'd be remiss not to say that I just love Tyler so much. Like, I feel like
Childers?
in that sort of, yeah, Tyler Childers, yeah. I feel like in that sense of FOMO that I have for being from Kentucky really lends to me appreciating what he has to say and offer. But I grew up in the late 90s, early 2000s, so I love some classic hip hop, and I'm kind of all over the place. I listen to all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Respect that.
You're very versatile, just like your job and how you operate. Swiss
Yes.
Army knife.
Yeah, just have a dart and throw it at the target.
And then I guess just the obvious, I don't have to really say where you can find L8 because folks already know. I've been doing it for 100 years. But I guess for the NF stuff, like it's just online at New Frontier right now for the L8 100-year collab. But we're working on other physical storefronts in other cities across Kentucky. So that will be coming out very soon. So folks, I just tell them just to watch because we'll make an announcement on
Yes.
social
Plus,
media.
it will be available on 8 one day. Plus, it will be available at Rocktoberfest.
Boom.
Yeah.
So there's some other
Opportunities.
in-person opportunities.
Come to those events.
100%.
Yeah, for sure.
We want to see you. We might even give you an L8. We might even give you a beer
Ooh,
to pair with your camo L8 gear. But yeah, Jesse, thanks for taking time to hop on because I know as soon as this call's over, you're off to do 100 other things, probably.
That's true.
That's very
100
true.
things, literally.
yeah, no, thank you all for having me. Are you kidding? This was great.
Yeah, we appreciate it, Jesse.
Cheers to 100 years. I need
Cheers.
my L8.
I know I need one too. Well, cheers, guys. Thanks so much.
Thanks,
yeah.
Jesse.
Thank you.
Thank you all for listening to this episode of The New Frontier Show. It wouldn't be possible without y'all, so we appreciate you listening, and we'll see you next time right here.
And if you enjoyed yourself, please do us a favor and like, subscribe, tell a friend, and we'll see you next time wherever you find your podcast.